Welcome to another interview by Dalit camera. Today we are in the Hyderabad Central University where an intense electoral battle is underway, and it appears at the moment to be a three-way fight between the right-wing ABVP, an alliance led by the left-wing SFI, and an independent candidate fielded by the Ambedkar Association, ASA. We are with two students, Seshu Chamdagunta on your right and Vijay Pedapudi on your left. These were the two students who were suspended along with three others. A total of 5 students, you might remember, were suspended last year along with Rohit Vemula, and Rohit Vemula committed suicide, and since then the campus has not been the same, and there were some historic battles fought in this campus against both the management of the university as well as the union government. Now that the elections are here, the unity that we had seen between the left and the Ambedkar groups on the campus has come apart, and the SFI, like I said earlier, is leading an alliance where the SFI is contesting for the presidential post, and the ASA has decided to field just one candidate for the post of president, and that is Vijay Kumar Pedapudi, who, like I said, is on the left hand side of your screen. Vijay, I'd like to start with you. The main allegation, of course we've heard this before also in the case of JNU, but the main allegation now by the leftist alliance, or the left-led alliance in the campus, is that by your candidature, the unity that was forged in this campus between leftists and Ambedkarites has come apart, and this will only help the ABVP. How do you react to this particular charge? Are you helping the ABVP win, or are you trying to make a larger point?
Yeah, before going to respond to your question, I want to thank from the bottom of my heart to all the organizations except ABVP who supported us since this long time for our battle against the casteist administration of Kodila Apparao here, who suspended 5 Dalit research scholars.
Including the SFI?
Yeah, including SFI. Because they all stood behind us, they supported us, they got lathi charged when the police were attacked, and they undergone the pain as like all the organizations.
Then why is it that you have decided to break this alliance and go independently and contest for the post of president?
Actually, that is not our decision to break the alliance. Actually, we, being the suppressors, being the suspended, being the victims, we want to get justice. For that, we want to go along with all these people. If we want to break the alliance, we could have broken it earlier. If any conscious people cannot break the alliance at the time of an election, which is going to represent our battle, which is going to give a result to our battle. But there is a series of events which have resulted in breaking of this alliance.
You have been saying that, in fact, this is not a fight against SFI. This is a fight against the management of this university. Why have you been? What do you mean by that statement? When you say that you are not fighting against the SFI or the alliance that they have formed, and that you are fighting against the management by contesting in this election, what exactly do you mean by that?
This elections has an historical context. Like after Rohit Vemula's suicide, after Rohit Vemula's suicide and his sacrifice in against to the casteist atrocities that has been running by the administration. This is the first election we are going to. Here, we want to contest elections along with all the groups. We don't want to be away from all of them. And this is a fight between why I am saying that this is a fight between an oppressor and an oppressed like me, because this is not like any other elections. This is as I told you earlier, this is the first election that we are going to fight after Rohit Vemula's suicide. So we don't want to fight between the organizations. We don't want to have individual fight among the student leaders and all. We want to fight against the person who is committing atrocities by holding a power in the university.
Then how, I mean, this is the language that the SFI is also speaking. So that we are also for oppressed. We are also standing by them. We also want to defend their rights. From what I have gathered on the campus, as far as that statement is concerned, there is not much difference. What is the difference between your fight and their fight? Why is it different?
To say frankly, I told you earlier that I have to thank all of them for standing behind me and along with my friends when we were sleeping in Elivada in chill winter nights and all. And they stood behind us and they fought along with us. But we want to field a candidate for a president position which effectively represents the cause. We put the same thing, the same demand before the SFI and all other allied groups. They stood behind us when we are victims, when we are weak, when we are suppressed, when we are crying. But when we are trying to assert our right to get power, but they are not able to be with us. We can understand they are also starting to play the politics like Congress and BJP, how they are playing with Dalits and all. They are trying to support Dalits when they are broken. They are trying to support Dalits when they are suffering. But when they want to get into power, they are silencing their support and all. This is the tendency of this mainstream politics, how they are playing with Dalits and their emotions.
But if you say that this is a form of Dalit assertion, essentially what you are saying is that this is a Dalit bid for power. If that is the case, then one of the defense that the left-led alliance has come up with is that there are Dalit candidates in their panel as well. Their vice president candidate is a tribal. Their general secretary candidate is a Dalit. There are other Bahujan as well as women candidates that they have fielded. When you say that this is a Dalit assertion for power, they are saying we have Dalits in our panel. Why are you opposing us? What do you have to say for that?
Yeah, whatever you told and whatever you are asking is entirely right. I am not negating with you. If they are very much interested in filing a Dalit candidate for a position, why there is no Dalit candidate for president position? Because I already told you that this is the first election when 5 Dalit research scholars are suspended. Among them, one has committed suicide. This is the first election we are going to fight. Then why they are not dared to put a Dalit student for the post of president? As you said, there is a tribal is contesting, there is an SC candidate is contesting, there is another BC candidate is contesting. Yes, that's true. We have love and affection towards them. They are our people, they are our brothers and they are our sisters. For that only, we are not filed any candidate against them.
Does that mean that you are supporting the candidature of the other 5 contestants?
Certainly we will support them. That is also...
So let me get it clear. So you are saying that you are in a direct fight against the SFI candidate as far as the other candidates who come from other smaller organizations. So you are saying that you are supporting that entire panel. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, we are supporting entire panel except the president, because we want a president must be a candidate who knows the language of suppression, because he can sincerely, he can effectively represent what kind of suppression that is happening here in the campus and what kind of caste atrocities that are happening in this campus.
Why do you think that you are that person? Why do you think that you are that person who best understands suppression, best understands oppression? Isn't oppression and suppression a common Dalit experience, or is there something different in your case?
This is the contest of, this is a different contest. There is a number of people who knows the suppression and oppression. For me, in my case, this is very much different. We are going to the elections in the context where Rohit has sacrificed his life for the self-respect while fighting against caste discrimination. I, along with Rohit, was suspended, and I spent along with him in Velivada, and I walked with him and I talked with him, and we shared the pain. I know the pain of what we undergone while we are residing in Velivada. I know that pain, and I know the suppression of how we met and what kind of suppression we met with the casteist attitude of administration. That way I can certainly say that I can effectively represent the suppression that is happening in the University of Hyderabad.
Now, you said a very interesting thing about what happens when the victim tries to become the victor, and when what happens when a Dalit tries to seek power. Which, in that case, the core question that we have to ask is, what does power mean? Because this entire election is about who gets power. What does power mean to you?
The power, there's different meanings of power for an oppressor and an oppressed. For me, I'm seeking power to get justice for what injustice that I have met with the atrocious attitude of this administration. The meaning of power may be different for other group of people. Like they want that for something else. They want that for some kind of lobbying. They want that power to get please their parties, the national parties for whom they are representing. But for me, being an independent, representing an independent organization, being a suspended candidate, power means very differently. I want power to show my oppressor that if you want to suppress me, I will rise from another way. That's power mean for me.
And you believe that your oppressor in this case is the university management?
Yes, certainly.
I would like to once again go back to this entire question of left Ambedkarite unity. And the reason I want to go back to it is because following the death of Rohit Vemula, a lot of people believed that a new politics had taken birth. A new kind of politics where Ambedkarites and leftists could work together. And many people said that this is the only kind of politics that can bring about change. I remember a lot of your Ambedkarite students were shouting Lal Salam, a lot of communists were shouting Neel Salam, Jai Bhim. After a point it was not clear as to who is an Ambedkarite and who is a Marxist. That is how we remember the struggle that happened in this campus. So from there, what exactly happened? Why could an alliance, an electoral alliance, not be formed by these two forces? What exactly happened?
There are a series of events that have happened with that. To say an exact answer for your question, when we are suspended, when we are living in Velivada, before the death of Rohit Vemula, before his sacrifice, people are just coming, seeing and just passing away from Velivada, and they are moving on. When he sacrificed his life in against the caste discrimination and fighting for self-respect, all the student communities came together and they stood behind us, and we got overwhelming support from inside the campus as well as outside the campus. Many political parties came, and many civil society organizations came to support us. And as you said, that's right that we have shouted as an Ambedkarite activist here in the campus. I shouted Lal Salam, and they also shouted Neel Salam. We thought this kind of united struggle must be there to change the course of politics in campus in particular and outside the campus in general.
The thing is that even until a week ago, by week, just a few days ago also, there was a lot of hope that this alliance would actually work. That all the non-right-wing formations, students' outfits on this campus would come together and form an alliance against the ABVP. And that somehow has evaporated in a matter of just a few days. In the last 2-3 days, this thing has vanished. In fact, I remember there was also talk that the entire joint action committee would contest this election. All these grand themes, these grand plans were discussed. How did it come apart? What actually happened according to you?
Yeah, this is a series of events which was started with the UGBM. In university, we have a tradition that the student union will be dissolved in a meeting by calling all the students
Across parties.
Across parties, and all the stakeholders of the university, particularly the students, in the name of a meeting called University General Body Meeting. For that meeting, the student union will be dissolved by that meeting, and from then fresh elections will be held for selecting another fresh student union.
Okay.
For that UGBM, all parties has came with their own agendas, with their own cadres. After some time, when the student union dissolving is going to start, and when the process is on, we can visibly witness that there is two kinds of people. Like one ABVP is one side, and all other organizations are one side. Though they are having their own agendas with them, they are starting. Sometimes they are their sloganing that Rohit Amar Rahe. And sometimes they are giving slogans like ABVP down down. And that was not clear, and who is giving, and how many people are came together to give slogans in against ABVP, and how many organizations came together and giving in support of Rohit's sacrifice and all. After few minutes of time, ASA opened a big banner of Rohit Vemla, which was written on that like "Justice for Rohit Vemla" with Rohit's portrait. It was suddenly it was a shock for all the organizations, and they all came together and they started shouting "Rohit Amar Rahe." Justice for Rohit.
All the other organizations,
all the other
SFI,
organizations,
BSF, all these organizations.
Till then, they are shouting against ABVP. We were not clear about who are there and who are shouting, and including SFI, BSF, DSU, TV, and everything. When we opened the portrait, when we opened the banner, they all came together to hold that banner, and they are shouting single slogan, ABVP, down down, Rohit Amar Rahe, Rohit, justice for Rohit, like that. At that time, our confidence was doubled. Like we thought that we are going to fight in the elections as a joint action committee, like what we fought in against Apparao since that time, till that time.
So what happened after that? Because that was actually the point where I saw a lot of action on social media also. A lot of students started putting up posts saying that the alliance is guaranteed, and this is the way forward and things like that. On the day of the UGBM, when the union was dissolved, the union was led by SFI, right? The previous union was led by SFI, where Zuhail was the president. There was a march that was led by Zuhail from outside the meeting venue to where Rohit's memorial is, the Vellivada, where his statue is. What was the symbolism behind that? What exactly happened over there?
Yeah, as I told you earlier, when we opened the Rohit's banner, all the organization came together and started shouting slogans against ABVP, and starting giving slogans about Rohit's sacrifice and all. At that time, all students got united, and ABVP, very less people are there for ABVP. Then they immediately walked out from the auditorium. Immediately, we also came as a rally in the banner what we put there, and we walked from the DST auditorium till Vellivada, where Rohit's statue was there, bust was there. There symbolically, Zuhail dissolved his union there just in front of Rohit's statue.
And when that was happening, all the parties were there.
Yeah, all the parties were there, except.
And everybody shouted "Lal Salam, Neel Salam."
Lal Salam, Neel Salam.
Then what happened? Why did the alliance not work out?
Immediately after the next day of student union dissolved, on 22nd there is a university vice chancellor called for an academic council meeting. And at 10 o'clock we got a call from one of our friends that academic council meeting is going on, in which student union president Zuhail was not allowed to sit in academic council meeting.
Student Union President from the SFI, that is right?
Yeah, he was from the SFI student group. And according to the Lindo Commission regulations, till a fresh student union get elected, the previous student union president will act as a representative for the students. And it's a tradition with the university that in academic council, a student representative must present, because the major decision regarding in relation with the students used to take up in that academic council. So by knowing that, we came there, we went there along with few of my friends, and where my friend Sheshu was also there. And after going there, we observed the scene that a group of people are gathered before the before the building where academic council meeting is going on, and we searched for the ways how to make Juhail to enter into the academic council. Then we got away, and we went there and made a scene that all academic council members, and we shouted and we blasted on the doors. And then all the members of academic council came out, and there was a discussion between them and us, and later they agreed to take Juhail to sit, to take him to be part of academic council meeting.
And this entire fight was led by the ASA, by
Yeah.
you?
Well, yeah, purely the fight was led by the members of Ambedkar Students Association. Purely.
Okay. But what do you want to prove by doing all of that?
Yeah, that shows our loyalty towards the students' unity and the students' solidarity. Because till the same day we are having that, we are going to fight in the elections in the name of Jack. We are thinking that all the students are united. But by the evening, we got betrayal from the.
So you're saying that the same day that you stood in favor of, or stood behind the SFI president and all of that, that same evening you were betrayed?
Yes, exactly.
When you say betrayed is a strong word. What do you mean by betrayed?
Betrayed means we thought alliance is going to be happen, and we are going to contest in the election, so that we are going to give a strong message to the administration. But the the SFI, who is taking major role in betraying us, which is having which is already speaking with us to go for alliance, and again they have started backdoor delegations with other Dalit groups to form their own alliance with that.
Oh, so in the morning they were still talking about a grand alliance.
Yes.
But what? They were having negotiations on the side.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? How can you say that? What basis do you have to say that? Is there any kind of? Can you give us a sequence of events? What exactly happened, and what gives you the? What makes you suspect that there were these negotiations that were happening?
Yeah. Actually, from ASA, we called Sanjay, he's a representative of student SFI, to have a meeting to finalize the alliance for the elections. At 3 o'clock we called, and he said that we will have after at 4 o'clock like that. And they keep on postponing like that, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We are patiently waiting there with a hope that we are going to have an alliance with SFI and all other parties who are part in Joint Action Committee. But at 7 o'clock, my friends who are part in delegation committee, they called to Sanjay and asked, Anna, when we are going to have this meeting to finalize the alliance. He told that, yeah, just wait few minutes, we are going to finalize, we are going to call you back in a minute. And after that, instead of he called again to inform about the meeting, he made some other Dalit guy who is representing some other Dalit organization to inform us that instead of having in Sanjay's room, that we are going to have this delegation meeting, this alliance meeting in his own room.
So which means instead of the meeting happening in the SFI person's room, the meeting was called for in the room of another Dalit leader.
Yes.
Okay.
Our fellows entered into the negotiations room. Already all the representatives of all organizations are gathered there. We are a little bit surprised by seeing all of them gathered there. Earlier we entered there, and after that SFI leader spoke about that SFI decided to take president and joint secretary post, they decided to give this vice president to tribal students, and they decided to give this general secretary for another Dalit group, that is TSU, and they already promised to give cultural secretary to Bojan Students Front, and they told that there is left with sports secretary. If you are interested to take that post, immediately we thought that
Which post is this?
Sports secretary. Or people thought that it's like nothing but they are trying to betray us, they are trying to throw us away. So after that they immediately return and they conveyed the same to the committee and the core committee. So that by the evening, we in an hour, like by 8 o'clock or 8:30, all the family of ASA gathered and they decided to, this time we are not going to compromise on the self-respect. The what this SFI along with all these people did is like cheating us and betraying us. So we are going to contest in these elections independently. That too we are going to field presidential post only. This is how the actual betrayal was happened for ASA by the SFI.
I think the next day there was some offer made to you when you were filing the nominations. The SFI made an offer that okay, fine, you can take the general secretary post. Is that true?
Yeah, the true that they called by that time all the thing is over. We decided and we are not able to compromise at all anymore. We don't want to compromise because what is happened by now, we felt very humiliating. So we don't want to accept their offers no more.
So that then you rejected the offer for the general secretary.
Yeah, we rejected the offer of general secretary made by them. Even they didn't offer the general secretary post. They just called and asked, why don't you rethink on this general secretary for taking this general secretary post?
No, now correct me if I am wrong. The general secretary post was offered to another Dalit organization,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So if they are saying consider the Dalit, the general secretary post, if they are asking you, the ASA, to consider the general secretary post, that means they were actually offering to betray the other Dalit organization.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the play how they want to divide the Dalit. They want to divide Dalit groups and play the politics. This is the exact politics of these people there. That's why as I told earlier, general secretary post was promised to another group, and they again called us to take the same general secretary post.
So what about the promise that they made to the first group then?
Yeah, that's a betrayal. They are again going to betray another Dalit groups.
So what do you want to say to the Dalit? I mean, obviously at this point, if you're saying betrayal, is there a message you want to give to the other Dalit and Bahujan and Adivasi formations on the campus?
Yes, exactly. The mainstream political houses, they use the marginalized section, whether it is ST, SC, whoever, they use us just to divide us. Because until we unite, they cannot become strong. If they can split us into a number of groups, they can become strong. So, as long as we united, no one can come and beat us. So, that must be understood by each and every group who are becoming pawns in the game that has been played by these mainstream political groups like Student Federation of India.
There is also a claim I was noticing on social media that I believe on the day of the withdrawal of the nominations, finally the SFI people offered you the president post also. Is that true?
So that's not at all. That's not at all true. That's not at all true.
That's not true.
Not at all.
So there is another strange aspect that we have noticed in this election. A lot of like for example in the JNU elections, right? The Babsa, Rahul Sonpimple, they got overwhelming, almost unconditional support from Dalit intellectuals across the country.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are several Dalit intellectuals who are very active on social media, for example, and they actually do swing opinion of the Dalit Bahujan population. In these elections, they have been suspiciously silent. Okay, and when we spoke to some of them, they were saying that that there's some kind of Mala Madiga politics, there's some kind of subcaste politics that ASA is playing,
Yeah.
that Vijay is a Mala, And that the claims to power of the Madiga students on this campus are being compromised by the ASA. Do you, what is there truth in this allegation? What is that?
That's a wrong propaganda that these people are doing. There is not a 0% of truth in that. Because
But
I'm
you
a
are a
suspended student. I'm a suspended student. Being a Mala is a coincidence. And they are using another my Madiga friend to play against me. That is not that is not mean that there is something rifty has been operated being between these Malas and Madigas.
You're
The
saying
real players are the people who are playing with us, who are dividing us, and who are making a drift between us to uh, uh, to fill the road bank. That's it. Because as I told you earlier, until we united, they cannot do anything in the campus. For that only they want to make a division between Dalit groups. Further, they are saying that this is not this is a mere Mala Madiga politics, nothing more than that.
so you believe there's no truth in that?
Nothing, not at all. That's not it.
Okay. So, can you also talk to us? I mean, a lot of people, know the story of Rohit Vemula, but the ASA has been saying that each of the 5 students who were suspended suffered just like Rohit Vemula. Each of those 5 students had a history or a personal history of extreme deprivation, of extreme social exclusion. They come from extremely challenging backgrounds, and the only thing that made, I mean, that was different about Rohit Vemula was that he committed suicide, right? So I'm very interested in knowing where do you come from, how did you grow up? Can you give us a little bit of insight into your...
Yeah. I have come from a rural village in Prakasam district of Andhra Pradesh. My parents both are agricultural laborers. They undergone many hardship to make me go to school and go to college and all. They are from a very poor background. And after completion of my graduation, I came to university with a lot of hopes to continue my studies, because education is the only hope for me, for my family also. Because through this education, I have to get a nice job. Then I can earn nice, good food and good shelter for my family. But after coming here, you understand that there is nothing much different between between a village where caste system is being operated very strongly and this university. I understand that university is none other than like an agrahara. People has been targeted based on their region, religion, caste. Especially the caste has been operated very strongly, but in an invisible manner. Everyone who is seeing this, who is observing this campus can say that there is no caste system where the caste is operating here. But as a candidate who has undergone the caste oppression like me can say that he knows the pain, how he undergone the caste atrocities. So to me, I came into the university with a lot of dreams and lot of aspirations to enhance my my life. But due to this attitude, casteist attitude, this fascist attitude of administration, we have to remain as suspended till now.